Okay, it is 9:39 a.m. Let's see if this thing can actually make a move towards the upside. I didn't really like the price action. It just felt like too many people were dumping their shares, but I was in this with IGEX for a high day breakout, and the idea was that it was going to break this 70 level and continue to make a move, but I just don't like the way this one is really trading. Maybe it's just not as consistent as I would like it to be, and I just need to respect that. Or maybe I just, see something here with the price action that just didn't seem that good, but it's really trying to make a move. And it's not too ideal because this thing closed at this sub penny 58 level, and now it opened. It had a gap up at 66, so that's not really that ideal. And I mean, sure, you can count this wick right here, but whenever a stock has a gap up in the next day, I'm less confident that it's going to uptrend. If anything, it might downtrend, but it looks like it's trying to do it now. I really don't like the price action here, but I was in at 936, which was right here when it looked like it was going to do it in this candle right here at 70. And it didn't do it. It sat around. I thought I was going to consider the trade if it breaks under 67. Worst case, I'm out at 62, and that would have been pretty close to a $10 risk level. But, I just didn't like the way it was trading. And I did get out ultimately at 938, which was right here. I didn't like how it would break the level at 70, and then it would just get stuffed with a bunch of new sellers showing up at the ask. But it looks like it's trying to do it now. I just don't like how the bid isn't catching up. It's kind of working. I'll make an update later. LCOP was having a panic, but I have no interest in trading it because it wasn't really up like nice, 3 days in a row, something like that. It wasn't really nice to uptrend. It's kind of jumpy, so I didn't consider it. ABML, I'm not really that interested in trading it, even if it tries to play off of this low right here, unless it does something super clean. That's really about it. I'll make an update as to what IGEX does, but this was ultimately a break-even trade. I didn't make or lose anything. No commissions, trading Fidelity. Actually, I think they charge like 1 penny or something small like that, but I'll count it as a break-even trade, and I will make an update later. Okay, it is 9:58 a.m. and I want to make an update as with IGEX. This one did ultimately fail. It did get as high as 73, but it did lose momentum. I did feel like it was not really as strong as what I would like it to be, but it still managed to make at least a move towards the upside a little. I again got out for break even, but it is downtrending, and yeah, that's the thing with stocks that have a gap up. I don't really think they work out more often than not. It just seems like it was on too much hype and then it kind of loses it. That really is about it. There isn't really anything else that I want to consider trading. LCLP did turn around, but I don't mind missing this because it's not like a consistent, again, 3 solid green days in a row or anything like that. It's just kind of weird. There really just isn't any setups right now, although CYBL did do something interesting. Now, maybe if I was looking at a longer period of time, like this chart right here, maybe I could have considered it as it was playing off of this 2 cent level and how it broke past it here, kind of came under it, right? And then it was building up higher lows. And then it started to make another move. It got as high as 24. Then when it sells off all the way back to this level, and then it has I guess a panic it might have had here or a downtrend, and then it catches itself, right? And then you look at the price action today is back at that same level. I mean, this was a bit, crazy in the way it just shot up, but maybe that's something I could have taken. Maybe something with that. And then I guess the recent highs will be this 25 level to break past, which, maybe it could try to work towards. That's it. I do have a thing right here that I bought 5 shares of QYLD, but this isn't a day trade. I just bought QYLD because I just noticed that I have some money just sitting in the C Trade accounts, and I figured just to buy a few shares of QYLD, which is like the S&P 500 upset. It pays like a really fat dividend every month, I believe. So that's why I just bought some shares there. Just might as well let it do something. It might continue to downtrend the market, but I'm technically in at this level at 2018. So yeah, that's really about it. I'll make an update later. But right now, I don't see any setups that I would be interested in trading. Okay, it is 11:17 and I want to go over a trade with Netflix that did not work out and actually an attempt to buy with CYBL. As for Netflix, I did consider this for an inverse head and shoulders trading the head of an inverse head and shoulders, and this one I knew was less likely going to work because when I considered the setup and traded it, it was around here in this move. But I saw how I had this low right here, a little spike, and then a low right here, and a little spike, and I thought, it could continue to just keep doing something like that. But I did think that it could be a better chance to take a trade right here because right here is this green to red level, so that would have been a very important level in terms of support. And then I thought, well, if it's not going to work, it might at least try to spike a little before it breaks under the level. Well, this one actually was so weak that you can see how, it made a move here, then it made a move here, but this one did not really make a move because it just got sold off, and you can see the big red candle here. So again, I was interested in the head of an inverse head and shoulder, so I thought this could be the shoulder. I'm in right here, which could be the head. It does a spike, and then I sell into that, and then maybe a downtrend and makes a shoulder, and then I'll consider trading it again. And again, VWAP will be a very interesting place to consider a sell or at least a target, something to look forward to. And this one did not work out. Clearly, I was in at 1057, and I did trade according to a $5 risk level, which is what I have with listed stocks. I was in it right here, 1057 at 219.10. So right here, I was around right here, and I didn't like the price action. The next two candles, as you can see, were ugly. I thought it was gonna do it right then and there. So even though it was holding this level, when it had those two candles, I wasn't really happy with the way it was trading it. So I did sell one share, which was half of my entire position, the entire trade at 11:01, which was right before the big red candle. Maybe I should have sold everything. No, hindsight is 2020. I sold one share for a slight profit, like 5 pennies, just because it didn't look like it was gonna work out. It wasn't looking that nice, but it didn't break my risk level. So I figured, let me just sell one share. If it actually works out eventually and it uptrends a lot, okay, great. At least, I sold a share when it looked sketchy, and if it were to have broken the level, I wouldn't have had to have sold everything at a loss, cutting it. So yeah, that's what happened in the next candle when it broke this level, which I was playing it off of, which was this 218. What was it, like 64 level right here? When I broke it, I immediately got out at not 10, but 11:02 right here at 2:18:52. So I got out right around here, right when it broke the level right there. And as you can see, it continued to sell off. So I'm no longer really interested in this unless it does something super clean. Now, I do kind of regret this. The thing with IGEX, it actually did do it. I did see it when it was under VWAP, but I didn't really think it would get to like 70 and actually break the level. I wish I was a part of this. Even if I didn't trade it, I would have liked if I was there when it was trying to break the level. So maybe I wouldn't have actually have bought it because I didn't like the price action. But at least to have been a part of this and just see how it was trading, and maybe I could have been a part of it and have made money off of that. But yeah, it's pretty impressive. Maybe in the future I'll consider a dip under VWAP with this. I was just kind of thrown off because I didn't like how it had a gap up, and those aren't very nice. And I did have an interest with CYBL. I had a verified cancel trade, and it was the same thing that I was talking about in the previous recording, how I was playing off of the 2 cent level. And when it had that 2 cent level right here, and then it made a move up to 23, and then it came back under VWAP, similar to IGEX. I was interested in it, but unfortunately, the way this one trades is weird because it just doesn't have that much volume right now. But I was interested in it, and I tried to buy 10,000 shares at 213, which was at 1026 right here. Right here at 1026. I tried. I didn't get filled, which is fine. Maybe I would have gotten filled if I was a bit more patient, but it did, in theory, get to VWAP 217. It didn't get much further past it. It kind of just came back down, so that's pretty much it with this one. But yeah, now that I look at it, it's very similar to IGEX, except this one is better because it trades more. It's more consistent looking, and CYBL is a bit uglier. But I like CYBL because they had a run up previously That was pretty massive. And again, playing off of that 2 cent level, the uptrending overall price action. So yeah, that's pretty much it with that. I will make an update later, maybe at the end of the day, unless I happen to see something else and I trade it. It's gonna be a small red day, but I think I did everything that I was supposed to do. Stocks to trade just crashed. And I will make an update later at some point. Okay, it is 9:27 p.m. and I'm here to call it off overall. I am down on the day 54 cents, and that was just a scratch with Netflix. It didn't work out. That was that setup right around right here, I believe. Yeah, it was right here, and I'm pretty happy that I sold one share because it was half of my position because I only traded 2 shares, thinking that the setup wasn't really working that well. And then, if it was going to fail, I would at least not have to cut the entire position at a loss. I only had to cut, the other half, which was just one other share in this case, when it broke the range low. And that was pretty good. And I'm glad I'm not some kind of simp and just thought it would come back because it definitely did not work out. And that's fine. I'm not going to be right on all the setups. Pretty unlucky with QYLD. I just happened to buy 5 shares right on the day that the market actually finishes down more than 3%, which is a lot. Like, a 2% down day is pretty bad, but to see something as bad as 3%, that's pretty impressive in a really bad way. And thankfully, I only bought 5 tiny shares, and my life doesn't depend on it. I'm only down like $1.50 from that position there just because I had that extra money in the account, and I thought I might as well just put it into something that pays a dividend. And yeah, that's pretty much the case for today. I think I will actually consider trading a larger dollar risk level next week because I feel like I'm trading well enough to do something like that, and the setups I pick tend to work more often than not. At least looking at this week and the last few weeks in total. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then if I do well the next week, I might then at that point do a $20 risk level at 25 and then just slowly increase my size. I think I've gotten to the point where, I've traded out about 500 trades, and I think I've kind of had the framework now in mind, and I'm doing better and I'm pretty disciplined. So, I gotta just increase my, dollar risk level and in theory make more money because, I've gotten through that grind. So, that's going to be the idea. And the thing with IGEX, it could have tackled it under the dip under VWAP like I attempted with CYBL, which was back here. This one was better because it traded more. And I did see it here at the end of the day. It did look like it was trying to make a breakout, and it kind of did one, but it wasn't too nice, so I never traded that. And yeah, that's really about it. I look forward to next week, God willing, and I have to keep trying. Not too bad, I'm pretty hard on myself, especially because I bought some shares of QYLD and I just, picked a really bad day for that. And, I just gotta just not take it too personally. I'm like my worst critic. And yeah, let's just close it off right here. Just, a small red day, and I think that's fine. Well worth the experience. That's all I have for today.